This week on Overtime, let's talk about overtime. Time. I'm Matt Faulkner, and this is Overtime. Overtime, also known as green-white checker, is something NASCAR has implemented to keep the races from ending under caution, because races that end under caution are boring. One specific example of this was in 2004 at Talladega when Dale Jr. and Jeff Gordon were battling for the lead with like 3 laps to go. Dale Jr. was bound to pass Jeff Gordon, in fact completed the pass after the caution came out, but since Dale Jr. did not complete the pass when the caution actually came out, he lost the race to Jeff Gordon, and the fans were very upset about this. They actually threw beer cans on Jeff Gordon's car as he slowly completed the last couple laps. Now, there were a couple things that NASCAR didn't like about this. One, they don't like boring finishes. It's bad for TV. 2, they don't like fans throwing beer cans at cars. It makes the fans look rowdier than they should. And 3, who wanted Jeff Gordon to win anyway? Procedurally, the way overtime or a green-white checker works is that if the field or the leader actually takes the white flag, which means 1 lap to go, the race will be over. So there is no fear that a caution will come out that will extend the race after the leader takes the white flag. However, if the leader does not take the white flag, there could be a caution that would extend the length of the race and allow for a less boring finish to happen than if the race were just to end under caution. An example of this happened this weekend at the Coca-Cola 600. There were actually 3 alternate endings. The first was Chase Briscoe trying to pass Kyle Larson. Now, that was a battle everybody was ready for. It was a few laps to go. Chase Briscoe was doing everything he could to pass Kyle Larson, and I think we were all ready to see what he would do on the last lap. At Bristol Dirt, we saw Chase Briscoe essentially wreck Tyler Reddick on the last lap, and it was very exciting. Kyle Busch won. And at Charlotte, it looked like something similar could happen again with Kyle Larson, but Chase Briscoe solo spun with 2 laps to go, and we never got to see the end of that. So after Chase Briscoe spun out, a caution was waived, creating a green-white checker, which would extend the race by 2 laps once they went green. So in this case, some cars pitted, some cars didn't, and it created a whole different scenario of cars with good tires trying to pass cars with bad tires, which created a whole nother wreck on the last lap that created another caution and another green-white checker that actually ended the race. On the final overtime, we saw Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch starting on the inside line and a damaged Ross Chastain starting on the front of the outside line. Denny and Kyle were easily able to clear Ross and race side by side past the white, guaranteeing the race would finish, and then continue battling around the last lap in which Denny Hamlin won. So prior to 2004, the race would have ended last weekend with Chase Briscoe spinning out by himself and the caution coming out. Kyle Larson would have won that race under caution. But now that we have the green-white checker, we had 2 alternate endings past that. 1 that ended in a giant wreck on the front stretch, and 2, a race that ended with Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch battling out to the actual finish of the Coca-Cola 600. So this time we are grateful for the green-white checker because Joe Gibbs Racing came out on top. Sometimes it doesn't end that way, but this time it did.